there is always a new challenge, and that's the thing that I love. There's always something new to learn. There's a new way of doing stuff, a new project to kind of get your teeth into, and I just love the variety and the options and the opportunity it's given me as part of that role. Stevenage has got a huge potential, and that's matched as well by the ambition of our members and our senior leaders. And obviously we're a housing development department that's empowered to kind of bring forward new schemes. We've delivered 500 plus to date, and we've got another kind of nearly 300 more on site or in contract. The nature of a housing development kind of role is that you almost become a jack of all trades. So contract negotiations, procurement, finance, legals, all of those things, but then also a kind of a hands-on knowledge to be able to go to site, follow up on how works are progressing. So it's wide and varied, and thankfully I have a really great team underneath me who are fantastic at doing all that kind of project management stuff as well.
Hello, I'm Toby Fox from 1.5 Million New Homes, the Local Government Challenge, sponsored by Redloft and Bugler Developments. And every month I'm visiting a different council to find out what works and what needs to change to get more homes built. This month I've come to Stevenage, and I've come up to the top of the council's own offices to meet Simon Nuttall, who's Head of Housing Delivery at Stevenage Borough Council.
So I'm Simon Nuttall. I'm Stevenage Borough Council's Head of Land and Development. So I look after our wider development programme for predominantly affordable homes, but also across various tenures as well.
And where are we today?
Well, we're currently on the roof of Stevenage Borough Council, which is a first for me. But yeah, we're in Stevenage, the country's first new town. So a lot of kind of heritage of new development here as well.
And this is the perfect place for you to tell us about your rise to the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, forgive me. How did you get to be working for the council?
Yeah, well, so when I finished uni, I had a strong desire to work in social housing. So I spent my first 6 months actually volunteering for the Citizens Advice Bureau as a housing specialist, and then ended up taking on it was originally a 3-month contract with the council as a admin in the housing management team, and then worked across a number of roles. And I've been really lucky that there's been the opportunities available and I've been able to do lots of different things. So did some more kind of financial inclusion work and welfare reform support work, particularly when bedroom tax came in. And then did some project management stuff, and then Ash invited me to come and build houses with him.
So Ash Ahmed describes it as he found you photocopying and he plucked you out of that world.
Out of obscurity. And it's probably an apt description, actually. I was doing a project at the time away from housing, but implementing a new system. And when I had to bring him a new tablet as part of that, and he was like, "Oh, sit down and have a chat," and asked me what I did, asked me about my background. So I did economics and accounting at uni, and then asked if I wanted to come and work for him. And then I said yes, and the rest is history.
He loves an economist.
He does love an economist. And it's been a fantastic place for me to kind of progress. So started on just kind of small sites as a project officer, looking at 10, 15 unit schemes. Mm-hmm. And Ash has been really, he's very supportive and kind of gives you the opportunities to learn. And we talked earlier about being able to kind of get more and glean more from our consultants, and that's something that has been kind of led from the front by Ash, but also just the opportunity to take on new contract roles, new kind of learning. When we set up the housing company, Ash asked me to be kind of front and center of doing the legwork behind that, and I've always been keen to learn. Like previously I've ended up I guess almost not quite bored, but I've wanted a new challenge. Whereas actually, since I started working in development 8 years ago, there is always a new challenge. And that's the thing that I love. There's always something new to learn. There's a new way of doing stuff, a new project to kind of get your teeth into. And I just love the variety and the options and the opportunity it's given me as part of that role.
So looking out from here, tell me about what this is going to be like. What's the potential of this place? How do you see it changing over the coming years?
Yeah, no, Stevenage has got a huge potential, and that's matched as well by the ambition of our members and our senior leaders. And obviously we're a housing development department that's empowered to kind of bring forward new schemes. We've delivered 500 plus to date, and we've got another kind of nearly 300 more on site or in contract. Just ahead of you, you've got some of the original tower blocks, and we've got schemes that are going to be some of our first new build HRBs kind of on the horizon that you'll be able to see in the coming years. So a huge potential for change, but also there's a huge opportunity to kind of deliver those new schemes, and that's because of that ambition we're able to push forward.
And what are you going to be doing in delivering those schemes? What is your contribution to making that happen?
It's a bit of everything, really. So the nature of a housing development kind of role is that you almost become a jack of all trades. So contract negotiations, procurement, finance, legals, all of those things, but then also a kind of a hands-on knowledge to be able to go to site, follow up on how works are progressing. So it's wide and varied, and thankfully I have a really great team underneath me who are fantastic at doing all that kind of project management stuff as well. And we have taken a very deliberate choice to try and recruit from within Stevenage. And what that means is that you've got people who are very passionate about what we're doing. They have worked for Stevenage for a number of years and understand the project. And so even though you bring people on with a need to kind of learn and develop, that's matched by their enthusiasm to do that. And so they want to go out and learn those new things and learn those skills. And that's paid dividends for us, both for myself, but also for the wider team, that's a pattern that's worked time and time again for us. Yeah.
What do you love most about what you do?
So I think the thing I love most is the actual impact of the work that we do. So often, because of the nature of the kind of wider program, we end up talking about unit numbers and kind of the value of the works. But actually, at the end of the day, what we are providing are people's homes. Yeah. And I think that knowing that you're creating a warm, safe space for people to be able to kind of thrive in, that's the reason that I initially started, and my desire to work in housing was to create that. And I know that I'm able to do that through my role on a bigger scale and a kind of more effective scale than I ever really thought I'd be able to. So getting to see that tangible impact on people's lives. I think a memory that always stands out for me when we just finished the first phase of Kenilworth, and we were there around Christmas time doing consultation for the phase 2.
That's Kenilworth Close, where
yes.
we visited earlier.
And it was early on, and every single property in there had their Christmas tree up, and it was a home. It was such a visible representation of a home being made, and there's a real sense of pride for me that I played a significant part in that taking place.
What about flip side, though? What's the worst thing about what you do?
Worst? I don't know. I think the nature of working in local government is that there is a degree of bureaucracy to what we have to deal with. And that is part and parcel of what we do. And we've become more and more adept at dealing with that. But at times when you just want to get on and deliver, having to jump through the necessary hurdles can feel challenging. But then there's a satisfaction in when you overcome them as well. So that's the worst bit, but there's also...
You're a silver lining guy,
I definitely am, yeah.
What are the skills that are most valuable in what you're doing?
Yeah, I think what we always try and look for in a recruitment is that appetite to learn. So that willingness to take on new challenge and be able to go and kind of find out the answers and problem solve to stuff. Because as we talked about, development will always throw up problems and issues. And I think it's that kind of can-do attitude to saying, okay, there is a problem, how are we going to solve this? And I think that focus on being able to work collegiately across the different kind of departments within the council and externally and with our partners to find solutions. We obviously talked about the Oval and the challenge with viability, and actually the being able to solve that as a solution is a real it's a real source of kind of joy and pride for us as a service.
So what advice would you pass on to someone else who's sort of hanging around wondering what to do with their lives and sees something about an apprenticeship at a council?
Oh, I would say absolutely go for it. Go and find out, learn. So we really strongly advocate people shadowing us. Come and spend time with your local authorities, if you're working in that industry already. Go and get a wide breadth of knowledge and understanding across the department, across the kind of field, because there's so many different and varied opportunities. And we find that even within our own team, as much as we're jack of all trades, people have their own specialisms, and finding what works for you and what lends itself to the skill set, you need to go and find out what's out there. And so throw yourself in. I worked so many different across so many different fields on my kind of route to this role, and all of that time I just kept learning, developing myself and skills to be able to do that.
So we're here, we're on top of the world.
Yes.
What else is there to achieve? What is your ambition?
So I think for me, it's just to keep building, keep kind of delivering those homes. And obviously with LGR and Horizon, the
Local government reform, that's
Yes.
the change to the structure of all the councils.
Absolutely. And what that does is opens up brand new opportunities for us. At the moment, we're bounded by Stevenage's geographical kind of area, but with the coming together of other authorities, it opens up new land, new availabilities, new opportunities. And I think for us to be able to expand what we do across those borders is a really exciting opportunity. And to start being able to do more to kind of tackle wider challenges, things around social care and the challenges that we know are there, being part of a unitary that can have more of a direct impact in that, I think there's loads of opportunity there.
Simon, thank you very much for your role in getting 1.5 million new homes built.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
So that's it for another episode of 1.5 million new homes, the local government challenge, sponsored by Redloft and Bugler Developments. We're going to be back in a few days with more from Stevenage Borough Council. But until then, if you could hit like or subscribe, we'd be really grateful, and we'll see you next time.